Years ago, Rabbonim used to call football, the football itself, Avodah Zorah. Not as now we're in the World Cup season, and the aim is of getting this golden World Cup. That is the Avodah Zorah, the golden cup, like the golden calf. That's the Avodah Zorah. The Avodah Zorah is the ball alone. Let me explain you what is the work of a coach and why England have won the World Cup in 1966 and haven't won it since. And you will see that at every football match, and the people who will win will be people who coordinate. What's the idea of a football game? A football game is not that Beckham should be big and he takes the ball and we've got Beckham on our side, that's why we'll win. He's not even playing this year, this World Cup. The idea is coordination. The main instinct, the main point of the football game is to hit the ball, this leather little ball, into the net. And it doesn't matter how we put it into the net, whether one field player takes it from right to the back and passes it right to the front. That's not the aim of getting it into the net. Of course, he's scored a goal and it's very courageous and it's a big effort. He's done. He's taken it. If he hasn't got anybody else to pass to. But the idea of a football game is coordination. 11 people working together, passing the ball from one to the other and pushing it into the net. The last person who stands near the net is the person who's supposed to score. And you have to get it to him. The idea is to get the ball. That's the idea of coordination. And England and most of the countries who have lost the World Cup have lost in coordination, in playing together, being a unit of one. The individual is not important. That's the idea of the game. And that's why it's an Avodah Zorah, because the aim is all the 11 people concentrate their minds onto this one leather ball to get it into the net. And if England will work in coordination and work together, that it's not the job of somebody there for him to score the goal, but it's his job is to get it nearer to the goal, and the person who's nearest to the goal to score, then we will win the World Cup. But as long as we haven't got, that's the job of the coach. As long as we don't have it, each one works for his own benefit and his own being big, we don't have a coordination and we don't achieve anything, and we don't get to winning the World Cup. And the lower teams, who are like Brazil and some other teams, they work stronger on the individual's personality. They don't work on the individual's personality, but they work on the team unit. They win the World Cup. As long as Hasidus will work as individuals, units getting big, Belz, Vizhnitz, Satmar, or the other vice versa, Litvish units, Panovich, Mir, and each one will only work for his own individual advancement, then we will not get to the Gula Shleima. Hashem oiz la'am yitain, Hashem yevorech sama b'sholem. Sholem, that we work together, the individual working together, that is what we need to do. We need to learn from football. How they win a World Cup is by working together. How do we win to get the advantage of the Rabbeinu Shalom, and how do we get the advantage that the Rabbeinu Shalom will listen to us and listen to our tefillahs if we work together? And as long as we are working as individual units and everyone only cares about his unit, we will not get to the togetherness of being able to survive in Yiddishkeit and being strong and everything else. There will always be holes, and we'll always find people dropping in and dropping out the same way. We don't work on a togetherness. Let's learn from the World Cup, from football, how to work on together, being together in one unit. I was on a bus last week, a 243, going to Wood Green. And when I got onto the bus, I went upstairs, because it was quiet there. There was only two people sitting up there, one guy, and I sat down in the front seat near the window, and on the other side of me was another guy sitting also near the window of the front seat. Two ladies with Hitler come up, with tichler, scheitler, and they're for him. Now they don't just wear a scheitel, they wear a Hitler on top. We are Frimme, all with mass and drossen, nothing with deeds inside you, everything with outside verstelligse. That's what they do today to be from. Wassocken, grüne Häusen, pepperte Häusen. The women go noch stronger tights, noch starkere tights, more zugedeckt, more not looking like women. Doesn't matter Friday night to look like a schmatte and go dressed in a tichel and run around with a house coat, and your husband, therewise looks at all other women because you don't dress nicely for the Friday night. That has method. Ikkis matatichel of cup. Anyway, she comes up to me, these two ladies, one of the two ladies, and she asks me if I can move over to the other side because she wants to sit with her friend. Why should I sit next to the guy? I don't want to sit next to the guy. I usually look for places not next to guy if there's places to sit. And so I said, no, I don't want to. Anyway, they sat down in the further seats and further back. Suddenly I see she opens up a yogurt, a bread. Kannst du sehen, der macht sich einen Pass. I went up and said, Eichel beschickt euch mal Kelev. Sie mir gesagt, ja, Hittel, sie nicht gehittelt, sie ja Schmatter auf den Kopf, sie nicht geschmatter auf den Kopf. Das macht sich nicht keine fremde Frau. Eichel beschickt euch mal Kelev. Chazal tell you that you shouldn't eat in the street. I don't know why in Israel they give so much to children to eat in the street. They don't make them caca in the street. They don't tell them a potty in the street. But the eating they give in the street. Both master behemoths. And why don't they do this master behemoth of eating in the street, making a potty in the street? But eating in the street, the master behemoth they do. I said, how can you be, what kind of sneeze is this? And not just a little roll. And that's a party she was making there. I said to her, you know, my name is Gaby. I don't care who you are, but I want you to know who I am, who's telling you this, that you're not right with you. You should go back and tell your husbands what is Yiddishkeit and what is Chassidus. They consider the cheretz has been broken down. The whole cheretz when the whole respect of behaving like a human being. She was rushing away to go to Wood Green shopping, and that was her main aim, and she didn't care two hoots about that she had to eat something, so she eats on the bus already, because she might miss some shopping which she can do, some clothes you can buy, she might miss. Who knows what you're going to miss? I can't understand these people. They've got no techert. I remember one of the things which my wife was, she ate in the street once when she was by Rabbi Dinner's seminary. She had an apple, she was hungry. And Rabbi Dinner saw her, and he says, and he told her, my wife has never ate in the street. We've never given our children to eat in the street. We've never taken we take the children to the park, and we were by the seaside. We found a little corner where we can eat, or something like that, or a table and a thing at the side. Always eating was with the rest of the cheretz. Eating is what brings you. If you eat like a mensch, you are a mensch. If you eat like a behemoth, you are a behemoth. And that's what must have been to Ita Simmons. She must have really grown up being a behemoth, because the way she behaves. There was a meeting last week of the council who want to build Motche Moses' house, number 4 Rookwood Road, and I wasn't allowed to go to this meeting. The first meeting I videoed and I put it on, so they're very angry at me, so they wouldn't let me into the second meeting, and they made a meeting just to tell them that they've decided to use the house like it is, and the council has agreed. Of course, it's all swindle, it's all corrupt, like I say. The whole council is corrupt. I see that it's corrupt, and everything else is something I'm the adult abuse committee. You know, there's an adult abuse committee in Haringey. So I say to them, they talk about adult abuse, there's policemen, and everybody's sitting around about adult abuse. I said, so I asked them a question. I don't understand you something, you know. We talked so much about adult abuse. Why is it not adult abuse when a person is playing music loud at night, at 12 o'clock at night having a party, and there's an old people next door, and you call the police, and they don't, then it's not adult abuse. Where are you then? Where is the police then to stop this kind of adult abuse, the abuse of the senior citizen? Where is it? Where are the police then? And they all stood with their tongues out. I had nothing to say, because the truth of the matter is they talk, and another committee, but they do nothing. They're not interested in doing anything really of adult abuse. They're just trying to catch somebody. Oh, we caught you abusing, you know what they're very told about, sex abuse or things like that. That's all they do. But they're not, there's no, otherwise, it's all fantastic. We've abused the children, God forbid. The children behave like animals. Animals is not a word. I watched the children going past from the school, from Groveland's Road School. Animals to one another, not to grown-ups, to one another. But let's come back to Ita Simmons. How does a Yiddish lady behave in such a manner? To call a Mrs. Litvin, an elderly lady, an old woman, some old woman who lives next door, who doesn't always have her house, doesn't always live there, she's by her children, and she rents out the house, some stupid woman, and make a little face like that to her, and I've taught you a lesson. Is that what life is all about? Is that what chesed is about? Is that what kindness is about? Is that what it's all about, Yiddishkeit? There's no gefühl for one another. It's like a not coordinated game of football. That's why we lose. It's the same thing. Every Chassidus only cares about himself. And she's learned this from Chassidus because she saw that in the Chassidus in Ger, they only care about themselves. Bells only care about themselves. Satma only care about themselves. Vishnitz only care about themselves. The Litvish only care about themselves. They're fighting in Panovich. Mir only cares about himself. And Brest only cares about himself. I don't want to go on. Everyone, just look into everyone. They only care about themselves. So we bring up a generation who are animals, who behave just like animals. They eat in the street. And Little Simmons must have been one of those like that as well, because she behaved to Mrs. Litvin like an animal, like a goyish animal with the people she works with. That's what she behaves. She thinks she's doing chesed, building a home and everything else. But to the old person next door, she's abusive and she treats her like a schmatte. That's what we've got from our Yiddishkeit today. And that's how. And now they'll say, "Oh, how dare you come on YouTube and tell this?" Because I'm telling this because this hurts me, and I'm saying this because if somebody wants to debate with me, I'm anytime ready. My number is there. Everybody knows who I am, and where I live. My number is there, open to come along and sit down with me with a debate with the camera on, and I'll put it on YouTube. What you have to say, bitte